Do you lads remember when the flies back in my OG videos used to invade every single video, right? Now it's the dogs. Nowadays it's the dogs. But if any of you boys are OGs before I deleted my videos, you'll notice the amount of flies. I used to be walking, always just go, fucking fly. Bro, off the back. And also the gains are out too today. Fucking hell, bro. Look at that. Crazy. But it's a beautiful sunny day as always. And a lot of you boys on this beautiful sunny day, it's Tuesday when I'm recording this video, right? And it made me think of all you lads who might be doing something that you don't necessarily want to do today, whether that be a 9-to-5 job, whether that be school, college, etc. And I've been in every single one of those scenarios that you guys can think of. 9-to-5 job. Again, it would be a day like this, absolutely beautiful. There is no clouds barely in the sky. Look at that sun beaming down, mate. A couple of clouds over there. But anyway, for the most part, it's an absolutely gorgeous day. And on days like today, for example, I'd work a 12-hour shift. I'd had so many different jobs, but there was this main job I had for so many months. It was a jungle job. I've always told you guys about this before, where I was a zipline operator. It was based upon the TV show I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that before. I'm not sure if it's just an English thing or something. I've never watched it before, so I don't really know, but I've heard of it, of course. And it's based on that show, so we had all the obstacle courses, leap of faith, loads of different challenges for the customers to come and try out, right? And I was just the operator, basically, making sure they're all safe, putting the harnesses on them, sending them down a zip line. It was a sick job. It was really, really fun, but I value my freedom very, very highly. And it would be, I remember it was literally last year as well, so it's 2023 now, obviously. Last year, same month, I'm recording this in April. It was April time. It was absolute heat waves in my city in Manchester. Boiling hot, like 22 degrees up to 30 degrees, and that's warm for us, right? I live in the UK, mate. Like, even on a day like today, it's still fucking cold somehow. So obviously that's really, really warm for us. It was sweaty, it was, but it's beautiful. I love it. And I was stuck inside this fake jungle, this box, all day for 12 hours non-stop. I only got, I think, 2 breaks on a 12-hour shift for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and I go straight outside and I'd sit in the sun. But it made me think of some of you guys who might still be in that situation, whether you're in college, whether you're in school. You're doing something you don't really want to do. You're doing work that you don't really want to do. You don't want to be there. It's the last place you want to be. And it's only now that on this Tuesday afternoon, I'm able to just stand here for as long as I want in this sun and just get a tan. This is my work. I'm talking to you right now. This is my work, and I'm doing it wherever I want with complete, utter freedom for as long as I want to do that. And that I've worked for that, of course, and it's not just been given to me, obviously. I've worked for it, and it's been a year from one side of the spectrum to now the complete opposite, and I've earned that. So take that as inspiration first and foremost before we get into the topic. To listen, bro, if you dedicate yourself to something relentlessly, you create a routine around that goal, and you force yourself to do those actions every single day, regardless of how you feel. You get the discipline, you just fucking get the job done. You know what you need to do to be successful. A lot of the time the problem is you just don't do it. I did it every single day for an entire year, military like. I was so on it, I wouldn't miss a task. That's why I am where I am today, with this beautiful view, enjoying complete utter freedom. Let's say you are working a shitty job you don't like, and if you're not yet, maybe you're quite young, you're probably in school or college, there's a bee coming in, I'm about to slap him up. You're probably doing something you don't really want to do, and you probably, especially if you watch my videos, you understand the beauty of freedom, and you want to live a life similar to mine, where you can come out every single day and do whatever you want to do. Obviously there's some days I feel like recording videos, but I still do them. But for the most part, I'm doing whatever I want to do, right? Even if it's the days where I don't really feel like recording videos, I'm still doing what I want for the whole day. I'm still where I want. I'm still enjoying freedom. So you probably want a similar lifestyle to that. There's a main mindset that I used to use, even when I was working that jungle job that I spoke about, 12 hours a day, and I really didn't want to be there, especially on sunny days like this. I couldn't think of anything worse. There was a mindset that I used to not only get through it. There's 2 mindsets, but there's one in particular I'm going to talk about. I'll brush over the first one. To get through that, and then to bring myself from that 12-hour shitty 9-to-5 lifestyle into a life of complete freedom and doing whatever I fucking want every single day. And I worked for that. I did that. That's why I kind of brag, I guess you could say. That's why I'm kind of flexing. I'm not doing it to put you down. I'm doing it to inspire you to listen. You can have this too. You could have this. You genuinely could. You just got to do the right things. You know what you need to do as well. You just need to fucking do it. Now, this is the mindset that I'm going to teach you about to help you get this shit done, especially when you don't feel like it. You know the tasks you need to do. You just need to do them. A lot of the time we don't feel like it. This mindset will help, right? Number one, obviously I was working this shitty job, didn't want to be there. I took the positives out of it. That's the first mindset. It's just a positive mindset. That goes for anything in life. If you are just taking the positives, it makes any situation you are in a little less bleak, a little less difficult to process emotionally and mentally. And it also allows you to just focus on the good and just smile. There's a Royal Marine quote called Cheerfulness in the Face of Adversity, right? So the Royal Marines is kind of like a branch of a military unit here in the UK. And they have a quote that says, cheerfulness in the face of adversity. And I always told myself that when I was in these situations where I didn't really feel like doing something, or I was quite negative, or, you know, I felt like shit, I just smiled to myself and then I focused on the positives. So in my situation, 12-hour shift, you know, fucking hell, it was physically demanding as well. We were pulling these like heavy ropes back constantly. I loved it. I seen that as a workout. I didn't see it as, oh, I'm so tired. I was like, right, I'm just challenging myself physically. It's a workout. Mentally, I'm challenging myself to stay positive, even though I'm drained and there's people being rude to me and no one's saying please and thank you and there's just dickhead customers. I train, right, that's a positive. It's mental resilience. Training my mind, just like I'm training my body. I'm doing that both in harmony. That's perfect. Meditating, you know, when there was quiet moments throughout the day, meditate. That's another positive I can take from it. You know, I get to practice my social skills, my confidence, my leadership skills, taking initiative. I get to practice all of this while getting paid. That's another positive. You know, flirting with girls, flirting with colleagues, flirting with the customers. I was flirting with everyone. You know, having a laugh with the boys in there, having a laugh with the lads. These were all positives. And I took that and I focused on only them. I didn't allow the negatives to enter my brain. And every time they did, I just flipped them into a positive. That is one mindset that helped me get through the shit and the 9 to 5 and the rat race of life. Because you've got to do it. You've got to start somewhere. You've got to do it to keep yourself afloat. You know, and you may as well just attack it with a positive mindset. It'll make it more enjoyable. And actually, I look back now with just gratitude. I look back and I think, you know what? I actually really missed the job sometimes because we had such a fucking laugh because I was always in a positive mindset. A lot of people would walk in there with this negative, like, you know, like resting on the counter like that, with this very depressing, miserable, low energy kind of mindset. They didn't enjoy the day. Every single day in there was miserable, and it probably still is. But for me, I went in there with a positive mindset, a bit of spring in my step. People used to call me a carpet holder. You know, the guys that walk like this when they hold the carpets, right? Because I used to walk in this way with a bit of bounce to my walk. Do you know what I mean? Because I was happy. I was always like, yeah, I'm excited to be here, even though it's a fucking 12-hour grueling shift ahead of me and it's a beautiful sunny day out there. Do you know what? I'm taking the positives. I'm happy to see you all. I'm gonna have a laugh with you today. I'm gonna have a good time with you today. You know, we're gonna talk, socialize, make money, enjoy the day. So I always just walked in there with a fucking smile, regardless of how negative the day may have been. Regardless of how busy the day may have been, I just walked in there with a smile, spring in my step, and that allowed me to take the positives from it and actually enjoy it. So now when I look back with gratitude and positivity, not like, oh, that was really miserable. Like, obviously, the freedom part of it wasn't the best, but I look back with just a positive mindset. That's number one. Number two, and this is most important, is to always be the best in every single situation that you are in, and always have the mindset of wanting to be the best, even if the activity or the external thing isn't necessarily something you care about. Because whatever you think oftentimes manifests itself as reality. So if you're walking around thinking, well, you know what, I don't really care about this shitty 9 to 5 job anyway, so I'm just not going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to slack. I'm going to be a bit lazy. I don't really give a shit. So I'm just not going to do it to the best of my ability. I had those thoughts sometimes, but I didn't act on them. That's the most important thing. Because if you start acting upon those thoughts of kind of like, oh, I don't really care about school anyway. I don't really care about college anyway. I don't really care about this anyway. So I'm not going to perform at my best. I'm just going to do the bare minimum and get through it, and then just go home. What this mindset does, however, is it trains you to think in this bare minimum mindset. It trains you to think in this kind of bitch mindset is the better way of putting it, really, to be blunt. It trains you to just half-ass things. And then you'll find when it actually does matter and you get onto something like this where, oh, I've got to make a YouTube channel, I've got to do the work. No one's telling me to do the work. I've got to do it. I've got to force myself to do it and be disciplined. You're going to find that bitch mindset creeps back in again and you start half-assing your videos. You start just getting content out there for the sake of it, and it's not really the best of quality. It's not really the best value for the viewer, right? You start half-assing life. In the gym, you start half-assing your workouts. This mindset is toxic. You have to be careful of the thoughts and the actions that you do, because it will start to manifest itself into a habit. And when it's just a habit, it's very hard to break, as you guys know with your fucking porn addictions and shit, right? So you have to just make sure that every single situation, whether it's you walking down the street, I want to be the best. I want to make sure that even when I'm walking down here now recording these videos, I'm absolutely at my best. I'm holding myself with my best posture. I'm walking in the most smooth and efficient way to get from A to B, right? I'm not like dragging my feet and slouching and hunched over with shitty posture and looking down at the floor. Everything that you do, make sure you're absolutely the best at it. Even in that job, half the time, we'd have roles, so every single hour we'd switch to a different role, a different station in the building, right? And there was this one particular station where you'd be behind the desk, and if it was a busy day, you'd have to hand out harnesses non-stop to all the guests and all the helmets and shit. You have to give them all the gear. Yeah, go down there, please, put your harnesses. You have to, it's just long, right? And on a busy day like that, where you're physically drained, mentally drained, you don't want to talk to rude dickheads that don't even say thank you when you give them the fucking kit. It's annoying. But that particular thing, I have so many times I had the thoughts of like, you know what, I can't be fucking arsed. I can't be arsed. And we have this massive basket of all the kit. So there'd be a massive like box, like a wheel box, right? You could wheel it around, of just all the harnesses, all the helmets, all the kind of used kit that people have come back and given to us. And we'd have to go through all of that massive box of harnesses, like 50 different harnesses and loads of different helmets and shit. We'd have to loosen all of them. Every single strap, there's like 4 straps on each harness, and you'd have to loosen all of them and make them okay, clean them, make them okay again for the next customer. We'd have to do that constantly, non-stop, especially on a busy day, or like on the Saturdays and stuff like that, when it's ram-packed on the weekend. And we'd have to do that. And oftentimes I thought, you know what, I can't be arsed. I could just slack right now and just put that one back on and say that it's done, even though I didn't loosen any. I could just do that. But I thought, you know what, if I start adopting that mindset and start getting into that flow of vibration, naturally the rest of my life is going to be in that flow of vibration. You can't tap into one. You can't be like, well, I'm going to half-ass this, and then when I do my YouTube videos, then I'm going to really put all the effort in. Because you're training yourself to think like that. Your mind is like a muscle. Just like you train your body, you're training your mind. So train it in the positive way, which is number 1 that we spoke about, but also train it to be the fucking best. Train it to always think and act in the most optimal and excellent way. Exceptional. Even when I was loosening the harnesses, I was the best fucking operator in there. I made sure I was the best harness loosener in there. I didn't slack ever. I always gave it my best. So when I look back, even now, I can think, you know what, at least I did my absolute fucking best in every single scenario that the world put me in, that the universe put me in. That's the mindset that I hold. And now that I'm doing something that actually matters to me, that I do care about, guess what? That's a habit. I don't even have to think about that anymore. It's not even like I have to force that. I don't even have to try. Naturally, I just always operate at my absolute best because I've trained myself to think like that. So now when I record my videos, no wonder I'm fucking breezing past my competition. There is no competition for me. No one competes to me. No one competes to the way that I'm doing it. Because of my mindset, do you understand? Everyone else just half-asses shit. Well, you know, whatever. Because they're training themselves to think like that with the 9 to 5 and with the college and with the school and shit. Like what, they're always doing these things that they don't really care about, and then they're training themselves to think in this kind of half-assed, slacking mindset. Always be the best at everything that you do. Whether you're a 9 to 5 worker, make sure you're the fucking best 9 to 5 worker. Whether you're a fucking bin man, make sure you're the best bin man. Everything that I do, I want to be the absolute fucking best at. Even the things that I don't care about, especially the things that I don't care about. Even if it's a 9 to 5 job, I don't really give a shit. I don't care about the company. I don't care about the success of their business. I don't give a shit. But I'm still going to make sure I'm the absolute best worker in there. Not only for myself, like we spoke about before, mental habits. It also makes me feel proud. It makes me feel like, you know what, I pushed myself today. I actually did good. I tried. When I go home and look in the mirror and I take off my stupid, shitty, sweaty polo shirt from the 12-hour shift, I can look at myself and say, you know what, you did fucking good today. I'm proud of you. You worked as hard as you possibly could. Even though it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm still getting paid the same regardless. You know, the managers don't really notice any difference, so I don't have to do it. But the fact that I did it regardless makes me an honourable and respectful version of myself. Therefore, when I look in the mirror, I feel proud, and then that pride transfers into every single other area of my life. Naturally, I just get more girls. Naturally, I just make more money. Naturally, I just do better on YouTube. Naturally, I just beat people in competition. Naturally, I'm just better. Everything just transfers. It all starts with your thoughts and then your actions as a result of those thoughts. So make sure you're always acting in your most optimal way. Does that make sense? Even if, again, you're in school, you know, you can't be arsed with school. You know that school's bullshit. You know you don't want to waste your time there. You know you want to live a life of absolute fucking freedom and gains. Say to yourself, right, you know what? Take the positives from it. There must be plenty of positives. There's always a positive you can take from every single situation. I could look at your situation and take unlimited amounts of positives. Even if you're in a shitty job, you're in school, take the positives from it. Start focusing on those positives instead of how tired you feel or how shit it is or how boring it is. Start focusing on the good part of it. And then as a combination of that positive mindset, start to act in your most optimal and the best possible way. Be the best student in there. That doesn't mean be a nerd and sit there and fucking, you know, only do homework and not talk to anybody. Just be the best version of yourself. And that brings me to my last point, which is every single time you are acting, every single time you are doing something in your life, I want you to train yourself to consciously ask yourself, what would the best version of myself be doing in this situation right now? So when I'm recording these videos, how would the best version of myself act? He'd make sure that he's maintaining eye contact with the lens. He'd make sure that he would be speaking as fluently as possible. Now, sometimes, again, you can't always amount to the best, but just the fact that you've got it in your mind makes you work harder, makes you work smarter, more efficiently, rather than slacking. It makes you operate at 100%, or at least try to operate at 100%. That's a very healthy and positive mindset to have. So ask yourself, what would the best version of myself do in this situation? How would he walk? How would he talk? How would he carry himself? How much effort would he exert in this situation? And then act like that, because why wouldn't you want to be the best? Why would you want to slack in any area of your life? Even if it is a 9 to 5 that you don't care about, you'd still want to do your absolute fucking best. You still want to be the best version of yourself. So in order to be the best version of yourself, you have to act at that 100% capability in all areas of your life. The best version of you wouldn't slack it as 9 to 5 just because he doesn't care. He'd go in there and he'd be the absolute best harness giver there is. He'd be the absolute best binman, the absolute best postman, the absolute best fucking retail assistant, whatever it is that you're doing, bar member in that establishment, just because that is who he is, that's how he thinks. That is the value that he sets for himself. He doesn't slack in any area of life. Because why would you? Other people will respect you for it as well. They'll see how fucking hard you work and think, you know what, this guy turns up every day with a smile on his face, positive, makes people feel good, and then he does the absolute best he can as well. Every single day without complaining. Never complains. I've never heard a bad word come out of that guy's mouth. I like this guy. What a fucking G. You're going to make friends easily, like that. Just because of your mindset. And you're doing it for yourself mostly. You're doing it for your pride and your accomplishment when you get home, and you can look at yourself and think, I fucking did the best I could today. Keep that in mind, man. The coaching is down below if you want to learn more from me. I will see you soon. Look after yourself, get some sunlight, and work towards those fucking goals that I know you've got. You know what you need to do. Get the fucking job done. What would the best version of yourself do right now? Would he be sitting here and just keep on scrolling? That was a good video, Luke, and just keep scrolling? Or would he invest in the coaching, which is down below in the description? Would he learn from someone that's been there and done it? Would he network with people? Would he get his name out there? Would he start doing some push-ups? Would he put his phone away and start meditating? Would he do something productive instead? Think. Get out there, make it happen, all right? See you soon.